It's been forever.
It has.
It's been very long, actually.
Honestly,
Yeah.
it doesn't like it. It simultaneously feels like it's been a long time, and like it's only been a month.
Yeah, I can get that, but I've also been rewatching our campaign things, so
Oh Lord.
yeah. Oh, they're good. They're good. They got me to genuinely laugh multiple times
Wow.
because they're great.
The DM laughs.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, I am the DM and I laugh all the time.
I was
Oh,
I was kind of concerned that I'd get back into this and have absolutely no idea what I was doing.
oh, that's okay. That's fine. I am so I'm going to be completely honest because it's been so long. There are a lot of plot details I am fuzzy on. So I'm gonna be completely transparent. So if you remember something that I do not, just do, don't be afraid to bring it up.
Okay.
Because yes, it could be you thinking like something happened when it didn't, but it could also be me completely forgetting about it. Because
It's alternate timelines.
I mean, kind of we're
Well,
so
I mean,
because
who really knows though? That's the thing.
be, because Xander cannot come this session, I will have to kind of retcon how the BS campaign ended. Just a tiny bit because, he was in it. And he was awake at the end. I don't know if you remember how that ended.
He just falls back to
Yeah.
sleep.
He just gives up. He just wanted a nap.
Yeah. So Tessa said she was coming. Do you know if she is?
Yeah, give me a second. I can text her and be like, get on here. Hold on,
Okay.
let me put in my AirPods because, like, my phone's being, like, stupid.
So
Alright,
I'm gonna
'cause
grab
there's
something to munch on, and then I'll be back on.
alright. So yeah, I've been thinking about stuff that's gonna happen a lot recently. I thought about the ending. I know how the ending is going to go.
Damn.
What I want for the ending. Knowing me, you're probably going to be surprised that it's not depressing. Well, a little depressing, but not really that depressing.
Wow. Well, I will continue with the assumption that it's going to be like a Warhammer 40k story and be incredibly depressing, only so I can be pleasantly surprised.
All right. But yeah, I know how the ending is going to go. I know how I want the final battle to go. I don't know if it's going to go that way. Probably not, knowing us, but I know how I want it to go.
I said,
Oh,
are
Lord.
you going to join or are you going to stay on Twitter?
So all right. So as I said in the other as I said in the other server, the story arc we are on, because I decided to name it because why not, is the Royal Trial arc.
Damn.
And it will be, and it's going to be very different from everything up until now.
Oh no. Politics.
Yeah. But there's an extra element to it. So
Well, I'm gonna be sitting in the courtroom complaining about liberals.
Daisy is in court complaining about the
Libtards. To call the judge a libtard.
Also, yes, I checked through our stuff. Yes, we do know who the main villain is. Our characters don't know them, but we have heard of them.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
It's gonna be funny too because it's not anyone we know is important.
Oh.
In fact, the characters made fun of them not being important.
Oh my god. Our characters are terrible.
Yeah, they are. That's okay. So, all right, let me get everyone's stats up because I gotta look at those. And everything from the BS campaign did not
transfer.
Yeah, so we have all of our crap still. You have a sickle? I didn't know I gave you.
Oh yeah, I got a sickle like whenever we first
went
shopping or whatever.
You got a signal whistle? I don't think you've ever used that.
I don't ever.
No, she did. It just it didn't work very well.
Oh, okay.
I think she tried to use it while we were falling.
Oh,
I think
maybe
and some other time.
I vaguely remember that. You have a crowbar. I think you stole that from Lashana.
I did.
Yeah. You still have. You have 4. Hello. You have 4 poisons left. So that's good.
I hope Daisy's ready to be poisoned.
Let's see here. Your alchemist supplies. You have not tried to make anything with those yet, so that'll be interesting.
Athena better not poison him. He still has a pickled tentacle.
Oh,
that's right. Because
that to him.
Because of your class, your AC is 2. Your defense is horrible.
Mine?
Yeah, your armor is only 2. If an enemy rolls a 2 or higher, they can hurt you.
Wow.
I doubt mine is much better.
No, I think yours is actually pretty decent, but I don't know. I'll have to look. I'm just looking through just to remind myself what everyone has and what everyone. I know that you two had very similar spells.
Mine were a lot better though.
Well, okay, so the thing was that you two share a lot of spells, but you have more spells. But Dacius, the spells he does have that you don't are unique spells. Like they have very unique effects.
I'm pretty sure because I'm pretty sure we are in like a prison cell or something.
Yes. Okay. So because Tessa and Audrey were not there for that, I'll catch. Even though I said what happened in the Discords, I'll just repeat. So what happened at the end of the BS campaign is we were going down to see our boy Satan and tell him, "Yo, we beat the Quaker Oats, man. Everything is great." Then it looked like time had stopped. We tried to talk to him. He just vanished. Everything started to vanish. Then this being of light showed up. He said his name was Jin. He said that entire world of the BS campaign, that was all fake. He created it because he wanted to test us. And the reason why or the reason how he was able to create it and put us in this world is because of what happened to us in the real world, which, that's the normal campaign. And we still have no idea what he meant by that. So we fought him, and we had a really cool moment where it turns out that he is connected to the original campaign all the way back when I still went to the school.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I just watched it, yes, because when they were fighting him, Gander and Dacius and Nigel all, as they fought, they remembered not only their original, or they remembered what happened in the main campaign, but they also vaguely remembered another world. Like yes, because they saw themselves, they saw Lashana, they saw a dragonborn similar to Nigel, but it wasn't Nigel, and then other figures that they couldn't make out.
It's all connected.
It is. And then, which I actually have fully figured out how that ties into the main plot. Because at first it was kind of going to be vague, like if that actually had anything to do with anything, or it's like, oh, they're like reincarnations across dimensions or something. But no, it does tie into the main plot. Anyway, so we beat him up, and because we beat him up, because he told us to, we woke up, and we found ourselves in a jail cell. And the warden got mad at us because we were being loud. And when we asked him where we were, he told us that we were in the Capitol's prison. Yeah, and our characters have no memory of how they got there. The last thing they remember is they saved the Elven Kingdom, and they were going out to party.
Party. God, imagine wanting to like party and have like a good time in a Dungeon Master's fantasy universe. Like, and it always ending in some kind of disaster. At what point do you just decide to stop partying?
Audrey, I forget that you have magic missile because you don't use it.
I forget that I have a lot of spells because...
I mean, you do. You have a million spells. I know you use, what was it? Firebolt and Ray of Frost. Those are the ones you use the most. And invisibility.
Oh, yes, 100%. And like the changing appearance one.
Yes.
I remember like the first time she used invisibility.
Was that at the lake?
Yeah.
That's where we met. That's where we met Jaden.
Yeah, he tried to kill a spider in like 5 different ways and failed.
That was when Nigel uprooted that tree with his pot.
Yeah.
He rolled. I can't even remember what he was trying to do that for, but he got a 20. And he uprooted the whole tree.
It hasn't I feel like he's gotten so many 20s on so much stuff that just I vaguely remember him deciding to do a backflip down some stairs and getting like a 19 or a 20.
Yeah, that might have been in the BS camp because so I haven't watched all of our episodes because we have a lot of episodes. We literally have an entire TV show worth of episodes. I'm not kidding. On Hunter's channel, we have 27 episodes for season 1.
All of them are like,
they're all over an hour long.
Yeah. So that's like it's like a Netflix original.
So I think that was during the BS campaign because when we were going back down to hell, he wanted to try to do like a swan dive, tuck and roll.
Well, there was another time. There was another time though. After like we were in a tavern, like, but whenever we were still planning on going to the capital or to the Elven city, we were all in this like inn with like the whole gang, and we were getting ready to leave, getting ready to go to the store, and he was just like, "All right, I'm gonna go do a backflip down the stairs or something."
That's right. Yes, I remember. It was something like really dumb and unnecessary.
Yeah.
We have a lot of those moments.
I mean, yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm just trying to familiarize myself with everything you have, and I'm also trying to see what some of these spells do, because some I remember, but some I don't, because we didn't use them much, if at all. So, Audrey, you have a spell called Enhance Ability. So I want to see what that does.
Can I just enhance somebody's ability to do stuff?
Kind of.
I just realized something. Athena never got to redecorate hell.
No, she didn't.
Sad.
Because our explanation was after all the stuff they had to do in the BS campaign, all their fights, all the attacks that she had to live through and everything, the one thing that got her to be knocked out was falling like 5 feet off of a dragon.
Wow.
I think she hit her head too. I can't remember. I just know like they landed on the ground, and Nigel pushed her off, and it was like just like a 5-foot drop. But that's what did it. Okay, so what Enhance Ability does is it allows you to make a creature. I mean, it says creature, so I guess it can be anything as long as it's a creature. Have better ability checks on certain things. Like you have to choose if they have better strength or dexterity or constitution. You can only pick one.
Lashana is not playing.
Okay.
I mean, Tessa is not playing.
Okay. Well,
I could, but I can't.
That's okay. That works out for the plot, because I'm not going to spoil what was going to happen, but Lashana is not in the cell with everybody. I'll say that. She is not in the cell for reasons. Ooh. That may or may not have to do with why she became a puppet thing.
A puppet thing?
Okay, so yeah. So you can help like increase someone's ability checks, and it also gives them slight advantages in the field. Like for example, if you give them more dexterity, it helps them with dexterity checks, and if they fall 20 feet, up to 20 feet, it doesn't hurt them.
Athena can do something good.
I mean, she can, but I think we all know how that's gonna go.
I like this idea that like even without Ifrit, she's more of a demon than the actual most like 9/10 demon in the group.
Yeah. You know what's funny? She has had the most loss. Well, okay. Dacius has had the most loss, but he can't remember most of it. But Athena has had the most, like, on-screen loss, because she lost Paul, she lost Ifrit, she lost Nigel temporarily.
Her brother.
Oh, and her brother, Didn't she kill her brother? Someone did, because he got turned into the Phantom Knight.
The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, she's had the most on-screen loss.
She. Oh my lord!
But yet she's caused so many things. Poor Shiva. Poor Shiva.
Yeah, I want to say that like she like Athena killing Shiva is kind of evens out Dacius killing leading to the death of Paul. But Athena knew Paul for like 20 minutes. And Shiva was like a long lost.
Yeah, but that was some of the best 20 minutes of her life.
Ah, yes, in the Death Hive.
Wait a minute. Where is Sigmund?
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna have to catch everyone up on where certain characters were. Okay, so at the end of the campaign, because Sigmund and the rest of the party, I'm gonna have to remember their names because I can't exactly remember. Okay, yes, Jellica was the Taefling.
Grom?
Yes, Grom was the monk. And then there's
Dead gnome
Sigmund.
guy.
Yes, the gnome was. Hold up, I gotta find him.
Dead.
Lorenzo. I think that was the gnome. We're talking about Lorenzo. Yeah, because he was friends with the dwarves. We have Lane and Curtis.
Those guys.
Oh, and Durkin, the old one. I think was he the one who knew Dacius? I think he was.
No, it was the guy that Dacius was stuck in that net thing with.
That's right.
It was the one with the red beard.
Right, okay, that's right, yes. Okay, so that was Curtis. I think
it was Curtis.
Yes, it was Curtis, yeah. So, okay, so all of them, because they helped save the Elven Kingdom. They saved it, they killed the demon, and then there was the one cliffhanger that none of the characters actually knew about, where there were more demons and they were planning something. I believe they got the one dragon crystal out of that one dude. Maybe, I can't remember. I'll have to look at that. I know they got one. I remember that.
Imagine having one of your commanders get sucked into a black hole.
That was an epic moment, though. Like let's be honest, that was a very, very epic moment. Anyway, yeah. So, go ahead.
I was about to say it's with that thing. It's really easy to like. Well, no, with a lot of things in the campaign, it's really easy to describe them in a very not epic way. Like, yeah, sure, he got sucked into a black hole. That was cool and everything. But Dacius, like, completely fucking botched it the first time he was going to throw it.
And was
the flashbacks made it cool.
Was the flashbacks and Nigel sacrificing himself and the fact...
I mean, like, the flashbacks made the, like, not throwing it cool, because at first I thought you were going to just say, oh yeah, he tripped and fell on his face. But the whole thing with Nigel was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that was, man, I love this campaign.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Remember the monster town? It was in that weird forest.
Yeah, the weird forest where they just started dumping their weapons into a lake and stabbed a tree.
Yeah, well, it's because because that's how Lashana got her Magisap dagger.
Yeah, by stabbing a tree.
Yeah, and then there's those three-eyed frogs.
Stabbing a tree, that looks very important is a very Lashana thing to do.
Oh, stabbing literally anything is a very Lashana thing to do.
That's a very Tessa thing to do as well.
Yeah.
Tessa actually got a dagger, and I told her to dye it blue.
Really?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Her Magisap dagger was blue, so there you go.
That's why I told her to dye it blue. She told me no, because she doesn't want a blue dagger.
Oh, boo. Okay, so Florencia is the Elven Kingdom. We all save that, and after we save that, because Lashana's sister, Ludricia, was still going to take over. She wasn't, because they wanted Lashana to be queen, but she was like, no, I'll take over so you can keep going on your adventure. And then they were going to go to the next town over to go to a tavern and party. So that's what everyone was going to do.
So Jellica, Grom, and Sigmund were all with us.
Yes.
Where'd they vanish to?
They're going to party too.
So are they in the cell with us?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't know where they are right now.
Okay.
Well, the last thing,
because we just woke up.
Yeah, the last thing our characters can remember is that they were going to go party at the next town over. That's all they can remember.
Have her flute thing?
Okay, well let's actually start the campaign before we answer these questions. Okay, retcon time. So the party wakes up. They feel rather groggy for some reason. They feel like their bodies feel incredibly heavy, and they're not sure why. They have vague visions in the back of their mind of some weird things. Like, for some reason, the word oats is in their head a lot. They have no idea what oats has to do with anything. And as their vision returns to them, they all see that they are in a very dark room. The smell of sewage is very prominent in the air, and they can hear the very slight clinking of what sounded like chains. Oh wait.
Those must have been some fucked up oats.
Give me a blanket.
Where did we eat oats while we were out? I don't.
Ew.
Gander, there isn't like an oat god, is there?
I don't know. Not in all religion. And as they look around, they see that the walls around them seem to be made out of stone. Very, very well made at that.
Wait.
And as they they look to their right. They can see metal bars.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Am I in a
What?
dream? It's cold.
Is this is what jails were, right? The metal bars?
Yeah, I didn't think I'd get that rowdy.
And from what sounded to be from the left of their cell, they could hear a voice yelling, "Oi! Quiet down in there, inmates! It's night time!"
Night? It is not nighttime. We just woke up. It's cold.
And they could hear someone walking over. And the man who was talking to them appeared to be a guard. He had very nice steel armor, darker skin, fairly well-built man. They could easily see why he would be chosen as a guard. In his right hand, he had a spear. It was a very thin spear, but they could tell that it was made specifically to be used to fit inside of those bars. And more importantly, on his chest was a very special symbol, a symbol that Athena knew all too well. It was the symbol of the capital.
So, hi.
Hey,
Hello, princess.
It's cold. Can you bring down a blanket? And while you're at it, can you get us out of here? Like, please?
Oh, princess. Do you not remember? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. You don't remember what happened, do you?
No, but you can refresh my memory by telling me and let me out of this cell.
Yes. The royal wizards warned me of this. Listen, you all have been thrown in here for, well, I don't think I should go over all the reasons.
Can Athena do a Christmas check to try to charm him?
Yes, she can.
Doesn't she have like high charisma or something?
Yes, she does. She also has a charm person spell to help with that.
Yeah, that's not gonna use that.
Gander.
Yes?
I'm gonna be honest. That looks. I don't think we're in like a town jail. If I'm entirely honest.
Yes, he seems like a very esteemed god.
We're in the capital, you idiot.
Okay.
You got a 14.
Yes. Plus her charisma check. Did you use the charm person? I think, yeah.
Yes.
I think you did. Okay. So you use charm person. So she asked him to let her out, right? I'm just trying to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So she tried to use her charm person spell, and she put on the nicest face she could muster at the moment. And from the look on his face, it appeared to be working. But the man quickly closed his eyes, shook his head, and said, "I know your tricks. I'm sorry, princess. I truly do wish to let you out of here, but..."
Hey, then please just bring us down a blanket. It's freezing.
I can do that.
When
One of the royal wizards will be down to collect you from your cell soon.
Wait, all of us? Or
Yes,
All of-
all of you.
Wait, where's Lashana?
I have no idea what you're talking about. You are all the prisoners that were brought down here to me.
What? And
That's a problem.
well, maybe we can hope.
Maybe they don't know?
Wait, is Nigel in the cell with them, or?
Yeah, Nigel's in the cell with them, but he seems to still be knocked out.
Maybe there's hope for Lashana?
Maybe. The warden then leaves, and they are left in their cells for the moment.
Oh my god! We're in the
What?
capital!
Yes, we are.
Yes. So, you didn't. What was it? The capital was against all races but human, right?
Yes.
Oh.
Even
No.
the king's daughter is a disgrace.
You're the king's daughter.
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't matter much now.
Oh, yeah, I am.
Although they gave you a nice welcome home party, I guess.
I
So good that we're in a prison cell.
But what happened? What did we do?
What didn't we do, Gander?
He said something about magic.
The
Royal Wizards?
Yeah.
Were we ambushed and force-fed oats?
Something about oats. And
Wait. Did we eat, like, spiked oats?
The Royal Wizards are...
Was it that assassination group again?
No.
No, they were called something else. The Shadow Troop.
That's right.
The Royal Wizards are, like, directly...
Okay, here, yeah, let me just give you the lore about the Royal Wizards so she can explain. Okay, so the Royal Wizards they're not quite second in command, but they are placed above the army and, like, in terms of importance in the capital. They are pretty much scholars of the kingdom. They try to find ancient magical artifacts and learn about them. And they are also the ones who punish the prisoners.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
There are also some rumors, and Athena is the one calling them rumors, that some royal wizards have taken prisoners for some sort of magic experimentation. But those are only rumors.
Okay.
Nazis.
So, the Royal Wizards, they're, like, above the military. They're extremely important. They're very valued. You have to have this expertise of magic and have a good grasp of magic to be in the... And they go around and they collect artifacts and they study them. And they also deal with the punishments of prisoners. But there's rumors, and I'm pretty sure that they might be true, where they do experiments on prisoners and they're magical and sometimes they bring them into different universes or manipulate their minds to think different things.
So basically, they're kind of like, I don't know, psychotic witches that are just paid to, like, find or destroy things?
Not always. I have met
Yeah,
ones that are,
obviously.
the leader of them was very kind. I don't know if he's still the leader, but he was very kind.
Are you sure he wasn't just kind to you or around you and the other royals?
Oh, he was not kind to Father. But he was nice to all the children and Sigmund. He was nice. The few prisoners that I seen him handle, he talked to them in this gentle voice. I don't know if he still is, but that was him.
Well.
And where is my blanket?
You're in a prison cell, and you're...
So they as Athena looks away from the group to the outside the cell to wait for her blanket, she sees that a royal wizard. Now, to describe what the royal wizards wear. They are all signified by their burgundy robes. They have burgundy robes that have hoods, and they mostly wear their hood, so you can't see their faces often. And she sees a royal wizard who looked fairly impatient, staring at them outside the cell.
You creep! What are you doing?
Psychotic witches, just like Eudacius.
Mariella?
And she
Nothing.
And she put down her hood and she winked at the group and she put her finger up to her lips. You have to keep it down. They don't look. I put an illusion on myself. They don't know I'm here. If they found out that I was in the capital, I would be murdered on the spot.
I mean, am I wrong?
I guess not. Mario, what do you do? You're a royal wizard.
No,
I'm... Okay, look, there's a lot I have to explain. Let me just get you out of here, and we can talk.
Basically, she's not a royal wizard, but it would be in everyone's best interest if you pretended she was.
Called it. And she turns...
what about Nigel?
Or-
What are we going to do with him?
I can carry him.
You're just going to carry him? Ugh, okay. He's gross, though.
Yes, I don't know what all these black scales are doing on him. Is it just me, or are all those black scales spreading? And it did appear, as they took a closer look, that those black scales that he had gotten from that prism piece are starting to spread. Oh, should we be concerned about that?
Probably not right now. I imagine
He's gross.
imminent execution is more important.
That's true.
But he's so gross.
So Mariella unlocked the cell, and she turned towards like the rest of the prison
Hey guys,
and just
I'm
screamed out, "All right, inmates, you're going to the torture chamber. Come on."
Ugh.
She started walking
Nice.
walking out, and they got up. Gander picked up Nigel, and they started to follow. As they were moving, they quickly realized why it had felt colder to them, especially Athena. The reason why it felt colder to them was because it appeared that all of their items had been taken.
Don't.
So we're truly defenseless.
What does the Capitol want with a pickled tentacle? Damn bureaucrats.
Oh my god.
That's
I
awesome.
gotta see what Gander had. I can't remember all the stuff he had. He is silently mourning for both of his swords.
I want my clothes. My robe.
Very
You
silently.
people in your clothes. Wait a minute. I wore robes.
Yes, you do.
That's awesome right there. That is pretty sweet.
Now more on edge than they have ever been. They make sure to follow as close to Mariella as they can.
This isn't the first time that Dacius has been walking through like a corridor with a few too many things around him that could very easily kill him under a very not good disguise.
Yes, it was in the Barrelopes. Or no, well, it wasn't the Barrelopes, it was the Hornets. The
Yeah.
Wyvern Hornets. It was their hive.
Paul.
He does still have the Paul piece in his hand. He does still have that.
I want to see Paul.
So
He's right
Mariella. That was like his hand. Does she know that he put that in there? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, I couldn't remember if
Does she really
he
know? That's the question.
had shown her or not.
Yeah.
So as they follow Mariella, they look around at the other cells. And they are somewhat surprised. They see what appear to be people similar to them. Not anyone who looks to be someone that needs to be put in jail. They just look like scared people, but they all notice something that all of them have in common. None of them are human.
Oh boy.
Sigmund! We need to find Sigmund!
However, as they pass one specific cell, they all freeze up for a moment. They turn to look inside, and they see a man, arms crossed, brown hair, and a very stern glare. They do not recognize this man. He looks to be possibly 30s, mid-30s. But he is not staring at anyone else. He's not darting around the jail. He is specifically staring at the group. And he has some aura about him. They can't tell exactly what it is, but they know they felt it before. And it's an aura that makes them all feel uneasy.
Hey man, we're definitely not the ugliest things in here.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
You see the corner of his mouth twitch up in in a smirk for 1 second at that joke.
Theseus, you might be the ugliest thing in here, though.
Probably.
I mean,
Mariella had stopped in the doorway and looked back at the group. He saw who they were staring at. And as she saw the man, she had kind of a grossed out look on her face and turned around. "Come on, inmates,"
She said.
and she went out the prison doorway.
where is Sigmund?
I don't know.
He was going to the tavern with us.
Yeah, so was Grom.
So was Jellica.
I hope nothing happened to them. Mariella, as they follow Mariella, she takes them up a very large spiral staircase with torches lined about that actually give it light. And the staircase, as well as the walls, are made out of the same stone. However, being in the light actually makes it look fairly nice.
Man.
Where are we going?
I thought you live here.
I lived here, and I know where we're at, and I can get to the kitchens, to the room, anywhere. I can get to my father's room. I can get to the maid's
But
quarters.
can you get there from here?
Yes, of course. You don't think I've ever came down to visit the prisoners?
You were just acting confused over, like...
No.
Never mind.
I want to know where we're actually going. Like, are we going to leave the castle? Are we going to go see people?
We are going straight to the royal wizard room. There's no one in there. Trust me, I checked. They're all out on business.
I wonder if these stonemasons got paid, like, actual wages.
You know, I wonder that too.
Probably not.
Where's all of our stuff?
I don't know.
I'll
My guess would
explain
be in
all
the
of that
caravan,
later.
but who knows, you know.
Come on. They continue climbing up, and once they get to the top of the staircase, and they see that they are now in the main castle hall, and it is large. You know, all of them. Well, Athena knows, but even she is a bit surprised considering she hasn't been back in a while at just how big it actually was. The ceiling it looked to be probably 100 feet above their head. It was huge. There were gigantic stained glass windows. There were statues placed all about, mainly of lions.
I miss this place sometimes.
The-
I do. There's so many good places to hide and just eavesdrop and
Jesus Christ.
Mariella turned around. Okay, you're gonna have to put these on. Just trust me. She took out what appeared to be handcuffs. However, they had symbols on them, and Dacius recognized these symbols as runes.
I'm not wearing that. These are so unfashionable.
You
What?
have to.
Ugh.
Mariella,
Yes.
what's on these handcuffs?
They're magic deafening runes. They will prevent you from using any magic.
All right.
Mm.
So she places the handcuffs on all of them, including Nigel, and begins leading them down the red carpeted hallway.
Where?
Oh, here you go.
Where in the hell did they? How in the hell did they scribe these?
You would be surprised at what these royal wizards can do.
I probably would.
As they walk down the hall, all of them can feel the various glares of the maids, the butlers, the various high esteemed people that just so happened to be in the castle that day, just watching them. And they hate it. They know what these looks are. They're looks of pure disgust at not only prisoners, but these creatures, these animals. But what surprises Athena, she is far too used to everyone looking at her with smiles, but not this time. Most of the glares seem to fall on her.
You know, it's not nice to stare. If you have something to say, just say it.
Athena,
These are people I used to know, Dacius.
You are in handcuffs, having exited a prison.
I know.
Dacius is still wondering.
Was never good at not acting like herself. They continue down the hallway until they make it to a double-doored room. And the room had what appeared to be an alchemy vial on it. Mariella opened the door and led them inside. In this room, they noticed that, unlike the rest of the castle, this room appeared to be very basic. Everything, except for the walls, of course, seemed to be made out of wood, very standard wood. There were vials of various potions, lots of papers scattered throughout the room, and there was a door all the way in the back of the room that had runes placed all over it. Okay. I can finally put the illusion down. Okay, where... Oh, that's right. She took off everyone's handcuffs.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you,
Mariella.
Mariella.
Can I keep my handcuffs, not on me, but with me?
Sure, as long as you can hide them somewhere.
Shit.
Well, we can figure that out later.
All right, thank you.
Okay, where do I begin? She brought over a chair. Well, she brought over chairs for everybody, and she slouched down in her chair. They could tell from the way she practically decomposed in that chair that she has been incredibly stressed.
Mariella, how long were we down there?
Let me think. Oh, about a month?
Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's not your fault. It's no way your fault.
Well, okay. Let me get a few things right off the bat. You all have amnesia, right? You can't remember anything before probably when we left for Florencia, right?
I remember we were heading off to another town to fucking party.
Yeah, we were going to celebrate. We saved the elves. We stopped the war. And as he said, "Stop the war," Mariella kind of looked away.
No.
Do we not stop the war?
Well, you delayed it.
It's been a fucking month.
It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet. However, the king has been very paranoid lately. After he found out what happened to his Phantom Knight, well, he kind of started to panic, and he's been heavily upgrading his army with various magic items that I have had to make.
No, Mary, no.
I don't think that'd be the first time.
No. But I can only imagine what. No.
Regardless, I don't think you had a choice if you really wanted to keep up this thing you're doing.
Yeah, about that. So, what happened was you all got captured after we had some business with some old friends of yours.
Sigmund?
Sigmund. He's okay, as far as I know.
What old friends are you referring to?
The Shadow Troop?
No.
Yeah, that's a very long story. Look,
I don't know them.
What happened was you all got captured. I did my best to stop them, but their forces were too powerful. Unless, well, I wanted to start an entire war on myself. So I had to disguise myself as a royal wizard. And the reason you can't remember anything is because of me. I gave you an amnesia spell.
But you can give us backup, right?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
It wouldn't be the first time.
I can try.
We're not all like you that have memory loss that goes back hundreds of years. Some of us like to cherish our
Please, can we not talk about that?
Well, you're the one that made the reference.
Yeah.
You see, I knew they were going to try to take you in for questioning, and I couldn't risk anything happening. After all, your executions were practically on the calendar as soon as you were captured. So I thought maybe if you couldn't remember anything, then, well, they'd have to postpone. Unfortunately, it kind of backfired, and you were unconscious for about a month.
Great.
Yeah, okay, it's not the worst that could have happened. At the very least, we've been unconscious for a month and not dead for a month.
But
Well,
for a while,
executions. So they're planning on killing us. Yeah. Actually, your execution after today's questioning is tomorrow.
tomorrow?
Yes. I've been trying to get you a trial, which they are willing to have, but if we don't give substantial evidence that you're all innocent of your crimes, you will be executed on the spot.
Decius has been around for the gods only know how long. Gander's a fucking time traveler. Nigel is, well, probably almost dead. Lashana, we don't have an idea where she is. And, well, I committed treason.
I mean, truthfully, I
I
think it's
know
gonna be a
where
very long
Lashana
time,
is.
but only time will
Where's
tell.
Lashana?
She points over towards the door at the far side of the room with all the runes on it. The head wizard took her in there. Unfortunately, the runes make sure that he is the only one who can get inside. I don't know what he's been doing to her in there, but I don't think it's good.
Okay, now what about Jellica, Grom, and Sigmund? None of them are innocent.
More innocent than us.
Sigmund committed treason. Jellica could just be killed for being part of it.
Jellica and Grom, they escaped. Sigmund made sure they got away safely. He's currently with his father, and I can't say if he's okay or not.
His father would kill him.
Well, knowing his father, since I've had to deal with him for about a month, I wish that he would consider death. It would be a much more merciful option.
Poor Sigmund.
Is there some not used paper and some pen or something in here?
Yeah, there's plenty. They just throw it all around the room. She gathers up.
I like the idea that most of the papers on the desk are empty.
Yeah, she just picks up a few. She gets a feather pen and ink, and she places them in front of Decius.
Can I start trying to write down some of the runes that I see?
Yeah. You always were kind of an expert at that.
Alright. Do I need to do a check for that?
Yes. Oh, I'm trying to think of what that would be, because
Can I help him?
Dexterity?
I guess it would be dexterity, because it would have to be like, how good could you write it down? Because if he didn't copy it exact, it would mess it all up.
Right.
So I guess yes, dexterity. Yes, if you would like to help him.
Yeah, I'll help him.
Okay, so we can. Oh, actually, this would be the the perfect time. Do you want to use that one spell that lets you increase the rolls? Or
that's what I was doing. That's what I was
okay,
saying.
cool. Yeah. All right.
Hold on. I have to bring my phone away from my face to roll.
All right, let me. I'm just trying to see what
it is.
What that's called again. It was E something. Enhance ability. That's what it was.
Enhance ability. Is
okay.
That what it was?
So Athena places her one hand on Dacius's shoulder, and as she does, he can feel his hands be more posable. His eyes could detect more, and he could better make out the runes, especially the runes on that door.
Right.
Which, because of how many runes are on that door, it was very hard to make them out before, but now it is a lot easier.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
Oh yeah, I don't think
Roll
I'm
it.
not sure if you saw, Audrey, but we have a new dice bot because our P bot killed itself, I guess. So,
Yeah.
now we have the Dice Maiden.
Yeah.
So
maybe this will be kinder to us with our rolls.
I hope so.
What command do I use to roll?
It's still exclamation mark roll and then 1d20.
Okay. All right. I'll be right back.
My phone would not let me take it.
So how's everybody doing?
Well, considering that our characters are probably about to be in a war.
Not too good on that.
Hang on, I gotta see your Dexter. Oh yeah, I didn't mention because we were doing plot stuff, but Dacius does have a lot more armor than Athena does.
Oh boy.
Yeah, because Athena, her armor is 2. Dacius's armor is 12.
Damn.
Oh.
Now I gotta say, 12
don't
is
even get
pretty
me started on Gander's armor. I think Gander had like
18 or something.
22.
Oh wow. Okay, I stand corrected. Gander is better
Well, that's
than
because
Dacius.
he's got like heavy armor and a shield. So.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. Your dexterity is not great.
Not
okay,
great,
so what
but I guess
runes are you gonna try to copy? Because you have the runes on the cuffs and you have the runes on the door.
I think because I have the cuffs with me.
Yeah.
I think I'll try at least some of the runes on the door.
All right. So okay.
Because I'm just copying it, not necessarily to use them, but just like.
Right. So Dacius uses his enhanced sight to look at the runes on the door. Now, because of how close together they are, it was difficult to make a single one out. So instead, he tried to draw what looked to be 2 of them combined together on the piece of paper. He's not sure what it means, but he tried his best. And with his enhanced sight and dexterity, he made it fairly similar, but it wasn't quite the exact same as the rune on the door.
All right, that's good enough.
Okay, so I think before the royal wizards come back, I should probably try to help you get your memory back. Okay, this is going to be kind of bright, so just be prepared. He takes out a staff, and as she conjures magic into it, everyone sees a bright flash of light. And for them, this is incredibly surreal because it's not them seeing the memories. It's them reliving the memories. So, as the light fades, we cut right to the end of season 1. However, the group is on top of Ishtar, and they are right outside the next town. The next town, which is called Gregoria, has one thing that all of them had been waiting for, and it was a gigantic tavern. Oh, we finally made it.
Oh my god, it's huge.
Lashana and Nigel are both sleeping.
I mean, I would definitely say so. I mean, that's
on
pretty
Ishtar.
impressive.
And the other party and the dwarves are following close behind.
Right.
There it is, lad! Finally, a good drink!
Finally.
And the dwarves are raise their fists up in excitement.
I wanna raise my fist up with them.
Yes, Dacius joins in. And Curtis is letting out a hearty laugh at his friend. Just like old times, eh, Dacius?
Old times.
Well, I mean, you could say it's just like old times.
So, they park Ishtar outside.
They just slide right into the McDonald's parking space.
Yeah. They take out the keys and they push the lock button, and Ishtar's eyes blink. Yeah. They get off, and Gander pats Ishtar's head. Don't worry, I'll make sure to bring you out something. They tried to wake up Nigel and Lashana, but they were out. I mean, they couldn't blame them after what happens.
Don't worry, Gander. We'll probably be joining them here soon.
Yes. Very much needed rest.
That's not what I was referring to.
Oh, right.
I mean, it's kind of rest. It doesn't feel like it when you wake up.
And Grom was he looked satisfied at the tavern. Jellica was bouncing all around as she does. Well then, in we go.
All right, we're going in the tavern.
Yep. So they burst in the door, and Figment walked up to the counter, and as everyone poured in, he said, "It's all on me."
Really now?
Figment, I don't think you want to. And before Gander could finish, the dwarves all cheered. Drinks for everyone! 3, 4 for everyone! Sigmund's kind smile was incredibly strained.
Don't worry, Sigmund.
Maybe not 4 for everyone.
Don't worry. They'll pay you back at some point. Maybe.
Probably not.
I hope. And
Dwarves have a bit of honor.
Grom was patting Sigmund on the shoulder as he grieved for his wallet. And the drinks started coming out. And everyone started to have a great time. Even and so Mariella, or not Mariella was getting one too. She only got 1 drink though, because if you remember, she mentioned last time she got drunk, she blew up a town. So she only got 1, and it wasn't it was a very lightweight drink.
Athena just wants water.
Yeah. So Athena, they did save the Elven Kingdom, and that was great. However, she just had Ifrit, someone who oddly understood her, just die. And Gander walked over to her. He had water as well. Hey, you doing all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. Whatever, it's fine.
Listen, I know we haven't been the kindest to you and to Ifrit.
I haven't been kind to anybody.
Well, yes, you've certainly been a bit of a nuisance here and there, but you helped us save Florencia. We couldn't have done it without you.
But I don't care if you guys could have or couldn't have. I haven't been kind to anybody. All of the stuff I've done has been selfish, and though I'd never admit it to Dacius, I feel so guilty for what I did to Shiva. I was hot-headed, and I think the best thing is that Ifrit and I are separated, because Ifrit encouraged me, and without his encouragement I wouldn't have, but maybe with it I could have done better things. I don't know.
Yes, that might be true. I guess we truly would have never known. But it's all in the past now, right?
I don't think you can put all of what I did in the past.
Well, no. But it's never too late to change the future, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And he holds up his water. Should we toast to that?
Sure.
And they toast their waters as Dacius is going crazy with the booze.
Oh dear.
You call that a toast?
This
hey,
is
dwarves.
A toast, lads. The dwarves.
Not all of us are old or drunk.
Dacius bash their mugs together, and then Mariella just kind of, she doesn't like feeling left out. So after they bash theirs together, she just kind of slowly tinks hers against Dacius's.
There you go. That's the spirit. Speaking of spirit.
Oh, wait, did she say she was going outside?
Yeah, she's going outside. I'm going outside for fresh air.
All right.
All right, guys. I'm gonna probably grab something to munch
So,
on again, and I'll be back on.
Gander decides that it is best to give her some space, and he just drinks his water. However, as everyone else is partying, including the other party, Sigmund, Jellica, and Grom are all having their time too. Theseus, out of the corner of his eye, he swears one of the waitresses looked so familiar, but he couldn't put his finger on why. He only saw her for a second, but something about her reminded him of someone they met.
Hey, Curtis.
What is it, old bud?
I'm gonna go use the bathroom. See you in a minute.
All right, I'll hold the fort down here, boy. And he takes a big old swig.
I knew you would.
So Dacius hobbles off. However, unknown to everyone, Dacius also saw this weird waitress, and as he was hobbling off, he did genuinely have to go to the bathroom, but he also had to make sure this wasn't who he thought it was. So as he was hobbling off and he saw the one waitress, she was wiping a mug, and he looked over, and when he saw her, he knew exactly who she was. It was that same waitress they had that time before. The one who had the side of her face covered.
I want to
Same
run
one,
to
huh?
Gander,
Okay.
but
Athena
a
wants to
somewhat
walk back
drunken run.
Yes. Here, could you roll dexterity?
Oh, good lord! Damn.
Oh man. I mean, I would ask if you wanted to use an inspiration, but it might be a little too early for that.
Yeah, I figure he'll get to Gander at some point.
Yeah. Okay. So Dacius not so subtly freaks out. So he tries to whip around and run over to Gander. However, he does take a good couple running steps before just completely tripping over himself and falling on the ground. And
Dacius?
as he's on the ground and he's trying to get back up, the waitress walks up right in front of him, and she stares down at him.
I get my robes are really cool, but I have to go see my fucking water drinking gardener friend.
Athena wants to walk over to Dacius.
So, as Athena walks over, she recognizes this person. She knows who this is because as soon as she gets close enough, just a flash of a past memory where it was the first time her and Ifrit fused together. That woman that she almost killed, and she just stopped. This was a bit much for her at the moment.
Dacius?
No.
So Gander, he looked up and he saw the woman. He immediately threw down his water glass and he started charging after. However, wait, did she say her name? I can't remember if she said her name or not.
Maybe.
Okay, I'm just going to assume.
I don't think she did because I kept asking her who she was and what she wanted, and she was like, what
No.
or something.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I'll just assume that she didn't. So she pulls out something, and she hands it down to Dacius. You should know us better by now. We never play the same trick twice.
So, which number?
5. He very cautiously takes the piece of paper. As he brings it down and he unfolds it, it appears to be a note. He reads it to himself. You know, his vision is incredibly blurry, but he did his best to read it. Yeah, I'm not going to do a check for it because he's making sure he understands every word. And
what does it say?
This letter reads, "We have unfinished business. I think it's time our game of cat and mouse."
Hello?
Oh, hi?
I missed all that.
Wait, what did you miss?
Everything after you telling me that my vision was garbage.
Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't that much. Okay. So he starts reading, and it said, "We have unfinished business. It's time our game of cat and mouse finally ends. You know where to meet me." And at the bottom, it was signed with the number 1.
Dacius, what is that?
Nothing.
Dacius?
It's nothing.
Dacius. You know who that is, right?
No.
Tina really just wants to fucking kick him.
I mean, she can. He's not getting up. No.
I didn't know I wasn't up yet.
No, you're.
Can I get up?
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
I think he's kicking him.
Okay. Here. So Dacius, he tries to stand back up, but Athena just walks over and just kicks his leg out from under him.
You fucking.
Give me the damn paper.
We need to know what they want.
Can you give me a minute?
Already did. Now give me the fucking paper.
No.
And
you've seen enough of my papers.
Gander walks over and he makes sure to stand between Athena and Dacius. Give him some space, Athena. He'll tell us.
How do we know he's not working for them?
You've seen enough of my fucking papers.
How do we know he's not working for them?
And while this is going on, none of them have noticed, but the waitress, she was gone. And so Curtis, he finally started coming over. Boy, Theseus, what's going on there?
A lot. I need to. I need to step outside.
No. Well, alrighty then. Just remember, we're all here for you.
Thank you.
Athena's following him.
So, Theseus hobbles outside. Athena is close behind. Gander follows. And the other party, they look at each other. And they follow, and they go out as well.
As soon as I get out, I just want to vomit.
Yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah.
So, Theseus just violently vomits. And, yes, of course, it is partially due to the alcohol, but it's also because Theseus at this moment has a lot of pent up emotions. He just saved a kingdom. He was in incredibly high spirits after everything that happened. After figuring out who he really was, what happened to Shiva, but now it's all coming crashing down. It seems the only thing he has control of his life right now is, well, whether he can vomit outside or not.
God damn it.
Theseus. I know you want to be alone now, but we're a team, aren't we?
Yeah.
She's tried to kill me. If that has anything to do with my father, or with you, or with your past, or it has something to do with the oncoming war, we need to know what it is.
I know. I had a feeling that it was going to be sometime soon. I just didn't think now.
What do they want?
I'm not sure. It's been way too long, but I'm mostly certain it isn't good.
And the other party are out now. We don't have any other jobs. We can accompany you.
That was the Shadow Troop.
And their eyes widens, but more so Grom's. And for the first time, Grom is a very quiet guy. You never really know what he's thinking. His face is fairly emotionless most of the time, but they can clearly tell he was angered at hearing that name. It's okay. They're gone. They're not here. Jellicoe was trying to calm him down.
They're definitely here.
A long time ago, I don't remember exactly when, I was a part of a large merchant caravan. We were transporting some goods that may or may not have been incredibly magical, possibly a bit eldritch, but definitely illegal. And the kingdom didn't want us to be transporting or selling those goods. Or that good. I don't remember what it was. So, instead, because they knew how well armed and guarded we were, instead of sending any conventional forces, any men with spears or knights or whatever. They sent the Shadow Troop. And somehow we fended them off, and I managed to kill one. I thought that would be the last I would see of them, the last I would hear of them. They didn't take very kindly to that, or they had decided that the member I had killed wasn't worthy, and that I was because I had killed them. I wasn't asked to join the Shadow Troop. I was forced to join the Shadow Troop. I'm not sure what all I had done with them, but at some point I had broken. I couldn't do it anymore. Of all of the shady, underground, underworld garbage, criminal garbage that I had done, that had to have been the sickest, the most screwed up. And I don't remember exactly how I had escaped, but, well, I did. By the time I had escaped, though, I was already branded, and I guess I had never officially left the Shadow Troop. But
Okay, so I'm back.
I didn't
So what
work with
happened
them.
while I was gone?
And
I don't only wear robes and try and stay away from the capital and the big cities just because I'm a bug and people don't like bugs. I try to stay away from them.
As he says this, he lifts up a part of his robe to show where he had been branded.
Right.
And they could tell he was branded on his back with a large 2. And at the sight of this, Grom flew into a rage. He lunged at Dacius. He grabbed him by the neck and lifted him into the air.
Sigmund, stop him!
You were the one who killed my master.
It wasn't my decision.
Sigmund and Jellica rushed as fast as they could. They grabbed onto Grom and were trying to hold him down. Grom, listen. I know. You've been trying to get revenge on them for years. This is not the way.
Please don't hurt him. Please.
Eventually, Grom did set Dacius down. He fell.
I want to go check it on Dacius.
Tina walks over. Dacius, he's breathing. But she can tell that if Grom had... She could tell that Grom himself was still holding back. Because if he had just squeezed a little harder, he would have snapped Dacius' neck.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dacius.
Gander, go in and get water.
Gander ran inside. Grom, he fell to his knees. I'm sorry.
You don't need to be.
Dacius, don't talk.
My training was meant to suppress such emotions. But ever since my master was murdered by the Shadow Troop, I have held this anger within myself.
Listen, Grom, no one will ever be able to fully suppress those kinds of emotions. It doesn't matter if you have training or alcohol. It doesn't.
Grom simply nodded. But he still looked down in disappointment at himself. Gander ran back out with water, and the dwarves came out as well. See the situation.
Gander, water, not the not all the dwarves.
Listen, they saw I was getting water. They heard some of the commotion. They wanted to check on their friends. I couldn't tell them no.
Learn to tell people no.
It's that damn Shadow Troop, is it? Well then. What do you say? We take them down.
I don't know if that's possible. Curtis,
at this, Curtis, his eyes widen. Back in the days when him and Dacius were the two best buds, they were inseparable, and they got into all kinds of little adventures. There was nothing the both of them couldn't do together. And hearing him say that was unbelievable. What are you saying, Dacius?
Anyone they want dead, they will have dead. I'm not sure we could do that.
Curtis, he kind of looks down, but then he immediately runs over to Dacius. Where is the Dacius that I used to know? The man who could never be killed, no matter what came his way. Where is the man? The man that won Shiva's heart.
Well,
Times change.
Actually, Athena,
You lost all your memories, Dacius. You're not that same person.
but I mean, I guess it would be worth a shot.
I've seen
I'm not
you
entirely gone.
I've seen you fight. Dacius, there's no greater man out there that I would risk my life for than you.
He's not a man, he's a bug.
He's a man. He's a better man than half of the humans in this damn world.
Well, I guess there's no man I would more willingly get myself killed for than you.
Yeah.
That's right. Now stand up. We'll all go. We'll find that troop and we'll take them down. No matter what, right, men? And the other dwarves, they raise up their fists. Right! And Dacius, he's honestly touched by this. He knows deep down, he does know. This is stupid. This is completely idiotic. He knows what these guys are capable of. But at the same time, he knows what all of them are capable of. Though maybe, just maybe, they can pull it off.
Well, I mean, I hope they can.
And he does
That's what they're
stand
for.
back up. And he looks at his hand. He looks at the piece of Paul in his hand. He remembers what he promised himself that day. He promised himself that he would never let an innocent like Paul sacrifice himself for him again. He would not let anyone go through that again.
If I do get the chance to, or we do get the chance to take them down, I think it would be best if it were just me.
Theseus, you can't ask that of anybody.
And Curtis, he gives him a long stare right in the eyes. He sees that Theseus' stance is unchanging. Normally, I try to talk you out of it. Probably give you a good old few smacks across the face, I would. But if you truly think that this is your fight, I can respect that.
I will tell you what, though, Curtis. I think I'm still going to need your help at some point. Maybe not with the Shadow Troop, but a bigger problem.
Well, you find us. You know where we'll be. We'll come to anything, any battle you need us.
Well, the battle I'll probably need you in probably be the biggest you've ever fought.
That's what we're counting on.
You have not changed. But you know what?
Neither of you.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
Bring it there. And they give a hearty dwarven-style hug. Before Curtis breaks away, he walks over to the dwarves. All right, men. Shiva might be gone, but we can still keep her memory. We shall rebuild. They all chant, rebuild! And they begin their trek back to the mountains.
This will be a war none of us can fight, Theseus.
Theseus, I know you want to deal with this yourself. But at the very least, could you let us accompany you there? Hello? Hello?
Where did he go?
Hello? Uh-oh. Oh.
You missed
Dang it.
Hello?
Oh, gosh. Hello.
You missed
Okay.
the sad part.
Oh.
Fuck!
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. What was the last part you heard?
They went off to the mountains.
Okay. All right. Then I'll just repeat it. All right. So they walk off to the mountains. Dacius, I know you want to fight this alone, but at the very least, could you let us accompany you there?
I mean, I don't think I could make it there by myself.
Thank you.
You do realize
This ain't exactly bug country.
Decius,
What?
you do realize that every time one of them dies, whoever kills that troop, they're going to be branded and put in there.
Well,
The only way to kill the Shadow Troop is by killing their leader.
I am
even know
aware,
who-
Athena.
But Dacius,
Trust me.
this is going to be a fucking huge war. There's going to be so many sides.
Well, I've got mine.
And everyone kind of does a knowing nod. And Sigmund steps up. You know we'll be here.
I'll be counting on it. Hold on.
What?
Oh, I thought I lost it again.
No. It was just a very somber moment. I guess. All right. Well then. And with that, no one else said a word. They slowly walked to their vehicles. I know.
Their vehicle.
Yeah. Yes. Ishtar becomes offended. The group climbs up onto Ishtar, and both parties fly off to start their new war. And that is the end of the first session.
Damn.
Ooh.
That was a freaking damn good session right there.
Yeah. Good lord.
All right. So when's the next time we'll be playing?
I was thinking maybe tomorrow. There's one issue with playing on Sunday, and that's since I got a job now. I can't stay up as late as I can on Sundays. So if we do play on Sunday, we'll have to start at like 6.
Okay, that works. Anytime's good for me because I'm free.
And we can end at 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
That would be fine.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, and if we play on the weekdays, which I don't know how often we do that, but if we did play on a weekday, it would also be the same as Sunday. I'd have to play at 6.
Yeah.
Except on Friday. Friday and Saturday I can stay up whenever. So
pretty much every day after this, unless I say otherwise, I'll be free. Tomorrow I should be getting my my internet turned back on. So
Sweet.
All right, cool.
That's awesome.
So hopefully we won't have any more drops between dramatic moments.
Right.
It was like every time
Hopefully
there was an
not.
important moment, it's like his fucking service cut out.
yeah, I don't even know what it is.
Though. That was so good, man.
Gavin,
It
what?
was
Yeah.
kind of depressing, not gonna lie.
Gavin,
It
what
was, but
phone
it was
provider do you
good.
have?
Yeah.
I'm trying really hard not to get like too edgy with Dacius.
Oh well, I think this time it was good because so And it might also be because of how I'm structuring this story arc, because if you can't tell, it's split between the two stories of this Shadow Troop thing, and then, which is in the past, and then them currently being on trial.
Yeah, and I guess...
Because, like, the first part with the trial story, yes, Dacius was freaked out about the, being in the capital, but he was also more normal Dacius. But then in this flashback, he got to the edgy part. But I don't think he went too edgy, because again,
I think
there's circumstances you got to consider, because it hasn't been that long since all that shit happened to Dacius, where he learned about who he was and who Mariella was, and he had his
and I think eventually
die.
Damn cool, but
I think eventually it probably was going to have to get a bit edgy,
right?
Just because like he's recounting like all of the garbage he's been through, not only in the past but in recent memory.
Yeah, exactly. So I think this time it worked.
Right.
We'll of course have some lighter, toned flashback parts.
Flashbacks are always.
Oh, I just hit my dog. Sorry, baby. The character, like, I'm trying to make Athena less terrible. But
yes. Well, you could, again, it's the whole dual story thing, because in the when we were in the present time, she acted more like normal Athena, but she wasn't like jerky normal Athena. Right. She was trying to get them out of the jail cell. Because they need out, and like it wasn't like the other times where she's used her charm powers to just get what she wanted. They needed out of jail, so she was trying to get them out of jail. And now in this flashback, you can see, hey, she is actually feeling really bad for all the crap that she did. So again, I think it works, and it might be because of the two-story format. I don't know, because this is brand new.
Right.
I just think it's a really cool... It is the second season.
Yep.
I
just think it's a cool format.
I think it's
awesome. I think it's working really well.
I think so, too.
Whenever we start back up, will we be continuing in the memory?
He might want to leave that as a surprise.
Yeah.
See, Audrey, that's what I was thinking.
Honestly, it could go either way. It doesn't, because it could be where like each session it starts in the present and ends with a flashback until the flashback is eventually over.
Right.
Or I could switch it up. I honestly don't know.
It all depends on what you guys want to do.
It all depends on how I feel. But since I like to have your input, if you guys have a specific one you would like to start with in the next session, I am open for that.
No, Dixie. No.
I think just to have that kind of little, because that would be like a pretty good kind of transition, like they're flying away. So if they were to cut back to the present,
that would be.
I think that would
good. Yeah, that's what I was.
That would be satisfying, and it would also allow you to like not have to describe the car ride to the next town.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. That is a good passage, because I know something that it wasn't necessarily a complaint, but it was something that could have been done better, that especially you, Gavin, brought up for season 1, was the passage of time was a little too fast.
Yeah, because it's like it would.
We had all this stuff happened to us, and it's been like at most a month.
Yeah.
Because I do agree that yes, that is a bit too fast.
At the same time, we don't like. You're trying to have this massive like epic story thing, and you only have like a summer to do it.
Yeah,
and you don't have all summer.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying, if we use the like flashbacks like that, like you said, where if we cut straight back to the present, then we can skip the car ride. That will definitely help with the illusion of time, because we don't know how much time passed between the month that they were captured.
Right.
We have no idea. So I'm thinking instead of it being how it was in season 1, where it was like day by day, now, you could guess like maybe it took them a while to get to the Shadow Troop. That I don't know when we're actually going to get there, but it might take them a while. It might not.
It just depends.
It'll just help it feel more
right,
like how a real adventure would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this format's really cool. I hope.
But didn't Hunter say something about he wouldn't be able to join tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeah, not tomorrow, because I'm hanging out with family, so.
Right. Okay. Gavin, if you get your internet back tomorrow, you should be able to record it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how about we try this, because I would like it if we were all here, but because I'm not going to be able to play as often thanks to job, I would like to try to play as much as possible.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah.
Tessa won't be able to play it a lot this summer though, because she's going to be in Tennessee.
Hey, that's okay. Again, she's in a room at the moment, and I have an explanation for the flashbacks on why she isn't doing anything.
Okay, and then Xander, we can just tell Xander tomorrow at 7, correct?
Yeah.
And he said he would join on the next session because he really needed today to just like recuperate.
Yeah. I could tell from his responses that he was not into it, that he had something else on his mind.
Really, he just, 1, couldn't get into the character, and 2, he's just like dealing with a lot of
I'm not blaming him. Family stuff is family stuff. It's gonna mess you up.
So
I get it.
When you record that tomorrow, can you send me the file?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right, sweet. So tomorrow at I'd still say 7:30. I don't know. Maybe if you guys want to get on at 7, just so you guys can chat.
Yeah, chat.
I can. We'll see.
I probably won't be able to play tomorrow, but if I'm here in time, I'll let you guys know. But probably not. But
so we'll aim for 7:30. And I'm trying to think about what else, if I wanted to bring up anything else, because you know how I like to do some behind the scenes stuff.
Right. I think. I mean, honestly, I was in and out a couple times, just grabbing stuff to munch on. But honestly, I think this is going to turn out pretty good. Better.
Oh
than last
time. So far it's amazing.
Right.
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to bring up before we get off. I guess I could bring up how I forgot a bunch of the characters' voices. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Yeah.
So
There it
I
is.
actually think I thought you did really good because
thank
considering
you.
like the time, I was expecting like all their voices to be different. Like I even forgot, like even like Gavin did Dacius's voice different.
Yeah. Well,
You
a
sounded
lot of like
actually more like an old man.
Right.
that, and something that I was kind of worried about. The way I acted out Dacius at a lot of points was a bit self-inserty, which I don't think is inherently a problem, but it's been like so long that I worried I'd act too differently.
No, I think you did. I think you did a very good job.
Well, thank you. I think
Like,
I mean, I think
everyone
you
did a
did
good
fine,
job.
but you know.
yes, thank you. I was yeah, because I remember like also getting to expand on Grom's backstory was nice. I just wanted
Yeah.
because
Yes.
Sigmund. So the other party is going to get a lot of development
Attention.
this time, mainly Grom and Sigmund, because Jellica got her development in the season 1. I mean, the whole other party did get their development where they learned to work together with ours, and we both learned, hey, we're actually not assholes, or we're all assholes. But Jellica also had her thing about being a tasteling, and she's not okay with it because she goes a bit crazy.
A bit.
And then thanks to Dacius being just himself, she grows out of her comfort zone a little bit. But yeah, this one will definitely be Sigmund's. Okay, actually, yeah, that's something I can bring up. So Sigmund's dad, that's the Duke.
Yeah.
We were making fun of him when Sigmund brought that up initially, when he said, my dad is the Duke, and we all laughed because we were like, your dad's a Duke? Like, what's how much power could a Duke have? And it was hinted at by Mariella, but I'll just say it. He runs the prison. So yeah, so that was
does he now?
yeah.
Bye.
So I was very excited to reveal that.
Martina's bye.
Another thing I'll just quickly bring up is so Jin, the guy from the BS campaign, his role is going to be incredibly interesting because I have connected all the campaigns together. The old campaign, season 1, and the BS campaign.
Damn.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, so they are all connected. It does make sense. Well, you guys know the BS campaign's connected because that campaign was all a dream.
Yeah.
But
And then obviously the first.
Yeah, but how the old campaign is connected isn't clear at the moment, but it will be.
Dacius is gonna get so drunk that his past self is gonna feel it.
Okay, that would actually be a funny, like, if he gets so drunk one
Damn,
time.
Gavin, I like that one.
In another timeline, it cuts to the old campaign.
Right.
That would be fun. Maybe we could do that if we do a second BS campaign.
I think that would be really awesome.
Oh my lord.
That could be fun, a second BS campaign.
Wait.
What?
Dacius can try to find, like, someone to help him with the other thing, because he's in the capital.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was saying that he was going to try and find, like, a really good paladin because he didn't want to do necromancy.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
See,
true.
that could be good. You know? I mean,
That's true. Ooh, this season 2 is gonna be awesome.
oh yeah.
Now I'm just imagining like
Definite. Yes.
the last scene. It's gonna be like bursting through double doors with a caravan full of fucking dwarves.
I believe I know how this season. Well, okay. I can't say I know how this season will end, but I think I know who the final boss of this season will be.
The Duke. It's gonna be Sigmund's dad.
Oh wow.
It's gonna be Sigmund.
It's
Oh damn.
That's gonna be interesting.
man.
Let's just
Don't give me ideas.
Oh,
don't give them ideas
you
now.
and your ideas.
No, it's gonna be that one fucking kid from the necromancy student.
It's gonna be the
Oh,
little
no.
kid.
It's gonna be
He's
the
gonna-
12-year-old.
He's secretly he was secretly having plans to take over the world the whole time.
I
Yeah.
will take over the world.
And once he learned necromancy, he was gonna enact his plan.
Of building like the biggest skeleton, and it's gonna fall over.
We are certainly terrible.
Oh, well, yeah,
oh,
there's no
yeah,
question about that.
that's- Yeah. There's no question.
Yeah. I love hanging out with you guys.
Oh yeah. So do I. It's awesome.
Yeah,
I was
I
really
do too.
excited for the summer.
Yes, this is going to be great.
Okay.
All right.
So-
Yep. Oh, what?
June 27th through the 30th. Then Xander and I won't be able to play at all because we're all gonna be in Nashville.
Mm.
The 10th of June, I'm not going to be able to play because I'm going to Dorney Park, and then
Okay.
sometime in the end of July, I'm going to Delaware
Cool.
for the beach or something.
Sweet.
That's all I know that I'm doing so far.
All right.
Well, by then we should
When,
have a lot of things.
When
to
is your
record, so.
when is your break over?
Break August 23rd.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
It's like
that-
something like that.
Oh yeah, we got enough time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, okay, here is the one good part about working is since I am working and not doing school, that means we can keep playing until you guys are off break
Right.
because I don't have to worry about having to do schoolwork again.
Right.
Well, even if, like, for some reason our thing has to go a little bit longer, we're going to come home every weekend.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay.
all
So I
right.
mean,
So,
technically speaking,
Even
if
if
you
it had
guys
to go
are
on just, like, a little bit longer.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So I mean,
All
if
right.
you guys have time and you
Yeah.
don't mind playing, we can shoot for every weekend. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
So, I
okay.
mean, that works.
That's good. All right, cool.
So
Yeah, we can do this. Now I can't. Of course, I can't confirm because things always change in this campaign.
life gets in
but
the way.
I'm thinking if the plot goes at least somewhat how I'm trying to get it to, I'm thinking we will have a total of 4 seasons
Wow.
for the
You
campaign.
know what's funny about that? 4 seasons like Drake and Josh.
It had 4 seasons?
I think so. Yeah.
What is Drake and Josh?
You've
You
never
don't know what
seen
Drake
that?
and Josh is?
Audrey, you've never
No.
seen Drake
It was-
and Josh. You really should.
it's an old sitcom.
We got to do like fucking like we're gonna do like fan mail episodes and like seasonal specials.
I
that would be
wish.
awesome. That would be awesome.
Oh my god, we're gonna
Oh
have
my
to
God.
write fan fictions
Damn.
about our characters.
Oh my god! No.
Damn.
It's gonna
See,
be
you went there,
No,
too.
like the fan mail thing is gonna be like
Wow.
Theseus and Gander sitting in armchairs, like around, like beside a fire.
Oh, I would love that.
And then you're gonna have
Yeah,
to
it's
like
yeah, it's
work
just
Nice.
it's just a podcast, but we
Right.
read
Right.
fan mail.
Yeah,
Today's
Oh,
episode,
God.
Reading Fan Mail, Season 1,
it's all going to be
Episode
like
7.
fantasy themed. Half of it is going to be death threats from the kingdom or something.
No.
That would be great.
Yep.
That would be good. I wish this. I was thinking about, because I make series on my channel, so I was considering if I could get the stuff for it, basically turning our campaign into a series so more people could
Right.
actually see it.
Right.
That would be pretty fucking sweet.
What do you mean
Yeah,
by that,
I have-
by the way?
What do you mean?
Like, getting this stuff, like, uploading it? Or
Like,
like,
I gotta get the. I'd have to get the props and stuff I need
Oh,
for it.
Yeah. That makes
But-
sense.
It's a beautiful soul thing.
But yeah,
Right.
I've been considering doing that, but I'd have to get the actual stuff for it. But yeah, I'm very excited. I'm glad that we can still do this. And yeah, to more of the campaign.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a
Sure.
drink at the moment.
Now that
Yeah,
you-
I'm
well, see,
gonna
I've
go
got-
'cause
I've got water,
I gotta
but
get
don't know if
water.
that counts.
I gotta get water. So.
Cheers.
All right. Well, I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
Alrighty.
All right,
Talk to you tomorrow.
see ya.
See ya.
See you guys.